Let's go make up the bed. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Live in the Rise. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Live in the Rise. We are live in the Rise. Today is a blessed day. We give thanks for this day, for this is the day that righteousness has made, and this is the day that we're going to rejoice in this day and give thanks in this day, because that's all we got is this day. What are you going to do with today? Somebody came in and said, what are you doing today? What are you going to do with this day? Are you going to be sad, depressed, have anxiousness? Or are you going to let it go? You're going to breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. You got to breathe in, breathe out. Hi, Ifani. How are you? Thank you for joining Live in the Rise. We are live in the Rise. We have to breathe. We give thanks for this day because today's theme, what is the theme today? Righteousness is safety. That's our safety. Our righteousness, doing good, is going to keep you okay. It's going to keep you safe. Okay? That's the theme today. And how do you do that? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm just waking up. Okay? I just washed my face. I brush my teeth, and I'm ready to go for the day. I made up my bed. My dog is under there. But I am thankful for today. Thankful for this day. This is the day that righteousness has made. We're going to rejoice in this day. We're not going to be sad. We're not going to be depressed. We're not going to be anxious about what tomorrow brings. We're not going to be anxious about our relationships and who we're with and who we love and who we want to be with, we can't be with. We're not going to be worried about that. We're going to stay in righteousness because the Psalm today, when I looked at the Psalm today, I was like, okay, we're going to be in righteousness. Righteousness is a safe place to be. It's going to keep you good. When you are good to people, kind to people, honest with people, have integrity about yourself, you're going to be okay. Yeah. So the Psalm today is 142 for those of you out there who want to follow along with me in your Psalms. I usually like to do my arm lifts while I am doing the psalm. So let me get my stuff here. Ugh. My arm lifts. Yes. So Psalm 42 is a mass skill of David, and it's when David was in the cave. You know, that story of David was in the cave. If you all look at the House of David, it's on Amazon Prime. I'm not advertising for Amazon Prime, but it's on Amazon Prime, and you can watch it. House of David, really good. Not the filming isn't that great, but the story of David is good. It tells a lot about, you know, an individual. So let's look at Psalm 142. And I'm going to start off today with the Psalm because 142, this is a time where people are crying out for help. They're crying out for help. Some people may be in situations where they are afraid. They don't want to leave because they don't want to cause, a worse situation. So it's best to know and to deliver all of that stress to the one and only, the most righteous of righteous, the one we call on every single day when we open our mouths to breathe. When you're breathing, you're calling on that one, that righteousness. So you take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. Guess what? You have begun the righteous journey by just breathing. So in this psalm, and it's a short one, that's why I'm starting off with this one. It's short. It is 7 verses. And I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is right. And this Psalm 142 begins with your voice. With your voice, you cry out to righteousness. To righteousness. With your voice, you plead for mercy. To righteousness. In verse 2, I pour out my complaint before righteousness. So whatever you're complaining about, you give it to that's right. Don't go tell somebody who gonna do something wrong with the information. Tell the righteous of righteous. You pour out your complaint to that righteousness. And you tell of your trouble before that one, that righteous of righteous. Talk about what is troubling you. What is troubling you today? What has got you troubled? So in your righteousness, when your goodness and doing right is fainting away, like you want to go flip out on someone, you want to go leave a vicious voicemail, don't do that. And don't do that. When that is happening to you, you know the way of right. You know the right thing to do. So do it. You know the right thing to do. So do it. In the path where I walk, there's a trap hidden. Yeah, there's a trap hidden. People want to set traps for you. But I always say when you set traps for someone, you better set two, one for yourself. Okay, one for yourself. So when your righteousness faints, you know the way to return to righteousness. So return to righteousness. And the trap that they've hidden, guess what? You're going to be okay. Thank you for liking the video. So look to the right. Look to the right. Look to the left. And see. Look to the right and see there is none who takes notice of righteousness. No safety remains. No one cares for I and I life. No one cares for I and I life. So the safety, what do you do when no one cares, when you've been abandoned, when you've been, betrayed or put aside, or you've been, lied to, or stolen from? When these things happen to you and you feel like no one cares, you do this Psalm 142 verse 5. Always look at this part here. Psalm 142 verse 5. When you feel depressed, or you feel alone, or you feel like you have no one, verse 5 will give you that assurance, because verse 5 speaks of, I cry to the most righteous of righteous. I cry to righteousness. I speak, righteousness is my safety, my portion in the land of the living, right? That is what my safety is, righteousness. Righteousness is my safety, my portion in the land of the living. And righteousness will attend to my I and I cry, for I and I am brought very low, like really low, saddened low, to the point of low, brokenhearted low. I talked about it yesterday. Brokenhearted, feeling brokenhearted, being brought very low. Deliver I. Righteousness will deliver I from my persecutors. Yes, from my persecutors. For my persecutors are too strong for me, for I and I by myself, right? Because it's more than one. It's not one, it's more than one who are trying to persecute me, right? And verse 7, righteousness will bring I and I out of prison. Will bring I and I out of prison, that I and I may give thanks. And the prison of your mind, not just a physical prison. I have family members that are behind bars, not, that could be the prison, but there's other prisons of people's minds. The prison of your mind, you will be brought out of that prison of depression, of anxiety, of sadness, of regret, of guilt, of shame, of any feelings that are not positive. You're going to be brought out of those, because that is a prison. Thinking of yourself as not worthy, thinking of yourself as sad. My dad passed away. I miss my dad. I wish my dad could see what I'm about to do in my life and be there, but I know that's not possible. So instead of me being sad and depressed about it, I have to pick up where my dad left off, and I have to keep going. I have to pick up where he has put himself for me to be able to do what I'm doing today. I have to pick up, and I have to keep going for that. I can't just let the ball drop on what my dad has worked so hard for, what his mom has worked so hard for, what her dad has worked so hard for, what my ancestors have worked so hard for. I cannot drop the ball on it. So I have to keep striving. And this psalm gives me that strength. Live in the rise keeps me up and risen with that living, the land of the living Almighty, that gives such sustenance to especially the brokenhearted. It's written, yesterday I read it, that the Lord is near to the brokenhearted, right next to me, all around me. So in verse 6, and verse 7, as we end this psalm, the righteous, is brought out of that prison when you seek for the righteousness, so that you may give thanks to the name of righteousness. That's why you're alive. You've been given the breath of life so you can just give thanks. But people are earning a living. They're not living. They're just earning a living, and they're not living life to the fullness of creation in the time of learning how to give up things of this world to embrace the eternal righteousness that is amidst, it's in creation. It is the simple things. It is in a flower that you see with your eyes. It is in the waves of water slapping up on the bay with the sand mixing together, making, beautiful shells. So we have righteousness around. It's always in our face. So the righteousness will surround me in the verse 7. For righteousness will deal bountifully with me, with you, with I, all of I, as we commune with righteousness. This has been the Psalm for the day 142. This righteousness is a righteous safety. It's a safety. Selah and Selah again for the Psalm today. Let that Psalm today, let me see. That Psalm today was beautiful, absolutely enlightening, and it gives such a brig. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. We have that. Yes. Thanks for joining Live in the Rise. That was the Psalm today, 142. Let's look at the word today. The word today. The word today.
It's the word.
What's the word
of the day?
What is the word today, everybody?
It's the word.
It's a beautiful day out here.
Day.
Beautiful day.
It's the word of the day. It's the word of the day. Word of the day. Word of the day.
The word of the day today. Thank you for that. Thank you. Mwah. The word of the day today is, and it's more than one word, it's pray for others. So this is important because yesterday I communed with righteousness on the phone with an elder, and we were praying for her daughter and her niece. Okay. And in that coming together on the phone and in that praying for others, it's a very selfless act. You are actually, putting yourself aside for another person in their life's journey and in their time of, turmoil, in their time of turmoil. So in reaching out and having that, and then I see the words today, pray for others. Philippians, this is the book in the scripture, Philippians chapter 1, verse 9 this is brought to us by Philippians chapter 1, verse 9. And this pray for others, I pray for others and feel close to God, to righteousness. So when I communed with righteousness on the phone with an elder on behalf of her daughter and her niece, I became close to that righteousness, like up close, where I can feel the hairs of my hair on my arms stand up, because I got so close to God. When you commune with righteousness on behalf of others, that is another way of building that relationship with God, with righteousness, with goodness, mercy, love, and kindness. Hi, Aiden. Hi, Aiden Williams. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining Live in the Rise. Sit up, have your tea. Coffee isn't good for you, but caffeine-free tea, herbal teas are good. It gets your organs rolling and going, especially when it's hot in your body, and it's organic tea. It gives your body what it needs to function through the day and your mind to be as sharp, to be able to discern things that's happening throughout your day. So sit up, join us. We are on the words today. Pray for others. So I pray for others and feel close to God. So I was talking about that and how I was doing that yesterday on the phone, talking to an elder and communing with righteousness. I call it communing with righteousness because pray is another word that can be defined in a different way. Even though it's spelled differently, the intent is different. It's still giving that sound of that. And it's casting that defeat vibe of a prey is someone that's sitting there and going to be eaten. So I want to commune with righteousness, talk to God on behalf of others who are suffering from depression, who are suffering from domestic violence, who are suffering from sexual abuse, who are suffering from human trafficking, who are being sold, who are being bought, who are being stolen. I am communing with righteousness on behalf of these people because there are women and there are children out there who are suffering abuse. They are being used for their money, social security checks. Money basically has gotten to the point where it's making people cray. And if they don't have it or they have too much of it or not enough of it, it's always their behaviors are based around this false narrative of money. The richest man in the world is not the man with the most money in his account. The richest man or woman in the world is the one that can feed themselves from the earth in where they live. That's the richest person on the earth. The one that can feed themselves. Okay? I gotta get the fly. Flies are in here. I'm gonna get them. Yeah. Okay. I don't like flies. And I think because I don't like flies, I was oh my gosh. I was watching a movie, Amityville Horror, and the priest came in to bless the house, and all these flies were at the window, and flies started coming all over his face. So I don't like flies basically because of that, but also because they're just nasty. They've been sitting on poop and stuff, and they're just flying around and sit on your food. It's just nasty to me. Flies are nasty. So pardon my interruption. I had to flick and get some flies out of here. So anyway, as I digress, the richest person on the earth is the one that can feed themselves from the earth that they occupy. So when people talk about the richest person on earth, you got all this money, you have $500,000, you can't send me $25, the richest, you're rich, you got all this houses and cars and money and everything, and you're rich, you can't send me that's not rich. Rich is when you can feed yourself. Rich is when your mind is powerful enough to put inside of your vessel the right medicine. That's your food. Okay. the Native Americans, the ancient Africans. You want to call them Native Americans? You want to call them Africans, indigenous, ancient peoples of the earth? They didn't survive off of all of this that we have today. They survived off of the wind. Listen to the wind. They survived off of that. So it's important, very important, to realize how the times have come that we are in, that we have to find within ourselves the multitude of goodness to conquer the badness, because it's out there. It's out there. We listen to it. We use words that perpetuate it. Our actions are bad. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. This one doesn't like this one. This one not talking to this one. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. So commune with righteousness on behalf of others. Don't sit and talk about folks, but commune with righteousness on behalf of others. So this is the words today. And Philippians chapter 1 verse 9 speaks, this is my prayer. This is my communication to righteousness, that love, the love you have may overflow more and more with knowledge, not sex, not how much times you can have an orgasm, not how much time that person make you come. But with more and more knowledge and full insight into the narrative that you are rich, that you are blessed, you are highly favored, you are wonderfully made. And there's nothing out here that can be taken from you that can make you shift into a bad person. So that is my communication to righteousness. For people who are out here jealous, angry, mad, confused, depressed, addicted to lies, addicted to sex, addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, addicted to violence. They love a drama. So I commune with righteousness that each one is going to love and is going to overflow. That love is going to overflow. And it's going to overflow more and more with knowledge. It's not going to overflow with 3 houses, 5 cars, horses, all of this material things. It's not going to overflow with that. It's going to overflow with knowledge and full insight. You're going to see. You're going to be able to discern folks. You're going to walk up on people. They're going to like you. They're going to want you. But then you're going to be able to discern them. Whoa. That person got a jealousy about them. That person don't communicate when they're in their feelings because they're afraid they're going to say something wrong. That person is not emotionally intelligent. You're going to be able to discern. You're going to be able to discern because that knowledge and that full insight is given. And that is what Philippians is emphasizing. Love. That love is going to overflow, man. It's going to overflow till it's like, hallelujah, I feel content. I am blessed, highly favored, and wonderfully made. My heart loves, and it's going to stay in that place. No matter if you take this person away, my dad passed away, my son passed away. You want to take the love away from me? You can't. By taking people away don't mean you're taking the love away. When people break up don't mean that love ain't still there. And then when they get with someone else, they want to know why is all this friction, because they still love the person they were with. That love cannot be broken. You could break up, but you can't break the love. Love cannot be broken. I'm not going to be bitter because my dad is no longer here. My son is no longer here. My fiance is no longer there. This person is no longer there. That person is no longer there. I'm not going to be afraid of losing love when a physical person is gone. Love is there. It's overflowing according to Philippians, more and more, and it's overflowing with knowledge and full insight. So because it's overflowing with knowledge and full insight, you're going to know. You're going to know and you're going to see. I saw and I knew and I felt certain things. And I was right. And I told my fiance, I said, there's some nappy-headed hoes out here coming after you. Oh, nobody don't want me. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I know the knowledge and full insight, because I am going to stay in that knowledge that love is more than a person physically in my face, touching me, loving on me, bringing me to orgasmic heights. Love is more than that. It's more, and it's going to overflow more and more with knowledge. I'm going to learn new things every day. Full insight, full knowledge every day. So the words today, it's an honor to hold another in communication to righteousness. It's an honor. As I commune with righteousness, I remember the righteous truth of each beloved life, a wholesomeness, blessedness, and wise mind. I trust that the ancient words of communication to God, talking to God, to Jah, to Jehovah, to Jesus himself, I trust that my communication will be blessed. Sometimes I commune with righteousness about a troubling situation, right? That seems larger than life. And other times I commune with righteousness to know the joy of sending a simple bless. I commune with righteousness for people I know, in addition to those around the globe I do not know. I always utter the words, bless the children that I teach, the children that I know, and the children that I have yet to meet. Same with my partner for life. That person is there. And I ask that they are blessed and that I will meet them one day again. Because everyone have known each other before in another time and place. So in this communication to righteousness, through that, I feel closer to God and to my fellow righteous human beings. My communication to righteousness carries the energy of my care and compassion. And I know those for whom I commune to righteousness on behalf of will be blessed, as the ones I commune to righteousness on behalf of feel the love of righteousness that is the Most High. the Almighty of Almighties, that sent individuals and prophets and people and gave of the flesh as a sacrifice, that I am more than that. I am better than that. So through that feeling and that love is existing, my communication to righteousness deepens an awareness of oneness with righteousness, with God and others. That communication to righteousness, when I am on here live and you become a riser and you're on here too, guess what? You're deepening your relationship and your oneness with goodness. That's what God is. God means goodness. They took out the O and just shortened it to God. Godness, goodness, right? So that's what God is, and others. So your awareness of oneness with God and with others is going to manifest, right? When you, isn't that true? The family that prays together stays together. Yes. When I communed to righteousness with my fiance and we're on the on our knees beside the bed, we became closer to each other in those moments than any other moments at all. So that communication to righteousness deepens this awareness of that oneness with righteousness. That's why any relationship you're in, it's supposed to bring you closer to God. It's supposed to push you closer and closer to God, not to each other. Once you're closer to God, you're going to respect each other. You're going to be humble with each other. Oh, hi, how are you? Kindness. Oh my gosh, nice, blessed. Because you have a relationship with the one that's allowing you to love another person. I am allowed to love and to feel love because of that love of God, of righteousness, of the goodness and mercy of the Lord. That's the only way I'm able to love anyone. So when someone wants to love me, they have to love that righteousness first. That is what's first. So that has been the word of the day. Selah and Selah again. That's the word of the day. I love that word of the day. Let's get to the verse of the day. What's the verse of the day?
Verse of the day. Verse. Verse of the day. Verse.
Where's my phone?
Verse of the day. Verse. Verse of the day.
Okay, let's get the verse of the day. The verse of the day today is coming from Hebrews. It's coming from Hebrews chapter 7, verse 25. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 25. Therefore, he is able to save completely those who come to God through him, because he always lives to intercede for them. We had this before. This was something we had read before. We had Hebrews chapter 7 verse 25. Righteousness is able to save completely, and that's the theme today. Righteousness is a safety. That's the safe place to be, is in a righteous place, in a goodness, in your mind, in your everything that you do. So let's look at the verse today in the daily communication to righteousness. So righteousness is going to save you. Safety, that's the safety. Through the one that is safety, that is always going to intercede on your behalf. So you don't have to try to defend yourself to anyone. People call you crazy. You don't have to say, I'm not crazy. Leave them alone. You have someone higher that's going to intercede on your behalf. So why should you waste your energy, blowing off like this? Don't. Leave people where they are. If they want to call you crazy, let them do that. They called people crazy before you. They're not going to stop that after you. So you're crazy, you're crazy. You know, the one who created what was it? Some kind of device. They thought he was crazy. They thought he was crazy, but that's the people who get things done. Is the crazy people. So yeah, I'm gonna get stuff done. That's what I do. Get stuff done. So let's get to the daily communication to righteousness for women. This is for women. Are you a woman? You have a woman? You know a woman? Daily communication to righteousness. Do you?
For women.
I don't know.
For women.
Well, this is for women. Daily communication to righteousness for women. And we're almost at the 9 a.m. hour over here on the Eastern Shore. We're gonna be saying goodbye soon. Summertime, I travel, and come travel with me to the Virgin Islands. Come with me to the Virgin Islands. Come to the Virgin Islands. Yes, I'm gonna advertise for the VI because I rep the VI. I'm gonna rep the VI. Okay. So yeah, come on to the Virgin Islands. We're traveling with me. So daily communication to women. Well, for women, daily communication to righteousness, to God for women. Today is the 26th. So we are on day 146. Spiritual wealth. Talking about wealth, and the richest man on the world and who got the money is not the one who really rich, but the one who got their health and eating right is got the wealth, right? So what's righteous wealth? This daily communication to righteousness for women is brought to us today by Timothy. Timothy chapter 6, verse 7 to 8. And Timothy speaks, for we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. However, when we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. Okay? So Timothy is onto something with our theme here, that we're safe. You're not taking nothing out. You're not taking your 3 houses, 4 houses. You're not taking your cars. You're not taking your horses, your farm, your land, your boat, your plane. You're not taking these things with you. You can't take them out of this world with you. And when you have the knowledge, and Timothy is talking about the richest man on the earth is not the man who got the money and the wealth of material things, but the one who's got the ability to feed themselves and clothe themselves. So if you are depending on someone to feed you, someone to clothe you, I bought this from the store. I didn't make this myself. When I was in sackcloth and ash, I made my own clothes, my own shoes, and that's what I wore as a behavior of liberation, a behavior of revolution. It was a revolution in my mind. It wasn't televised. The revolution ain't gonna be televised. It's gonna be in your mind. Okay? Some people sleeping, and it's okay. Some people gotta sleep. Some people gotta be the ones out here fighting every day. So Timothy is onto something big time, and he's onto it in terms of what I was talking about that the richest man on earth is not the one with the most material things. So, this is the daily communication to righteousness for women. Heavenly Father, Blessed Mother, there is so much pressure for material success in this world, right? There's pressure. And one of the words yesterday was successful. I think it was, no, the day before it was successful. And when we look at that and the meaning of success, what is that, right? So there's pressure to be successful in a material way. The more houses you have, the more successful you are. You have a house, you have a wife and 2.5 children, you're successful, right? You got a family, you're successful. But families are diverse. We got a lot of diverse families. In my family, it's me and my 2 children. I don't have a partner. It's my 2 adult children and me. And that's my immediate family. So, and then my children's dad is still alive. So technically, not technically, but in a spiritual way, he's still my husband. That's why relationships wasn't successful for me, because he's still alive. He's still here. And there's a lot behind that. That's another video. So you got to subscribe to this channel to get the whole scoop. Somebody told me you need to write a book because you got a lot of stuff that has happened to you. Yes, I've had a lot of stuff has happened. So in this daily communication to righteousness for women, there's so much pressure for material success in this world. Help me or give me strength to remember that the true riches are in my faith and in the next world, in the next life. So when people are passing on from this life, people are sad and they're crying, but guess what? They're in another life and they're living a different life. This life is all we know because we're alive and living it. We don't know what's that next life. So we have to be preparing for that the best way we can in our minds, okay? Free our minds from mental slavery and from the narrative that material wealth is success. So knowing that brings joy. Selah and Selah again. Yes, I'm getting look, I'm the Black Mermaid. The Black Mermaid is gonna be here, and look, we're getting ready for the Black Mermaid. So thank you, everybody. That was Daily Communication to Righteousness for Women. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for joining Live in the Rise. We're out of time. If you just got here, you missed it, you can replay this video. We have about 2 more days. 2 more days, and then we're live on Patreon, and we're going to be going live in the Rise on Patreon on the starting on the 29th, on the 28th, Monday the 28th. So let's get that going. We have in the battle for your heart, allow no pockets of resistance. So there's a battle for your heart. Everybody wants your heart. And those of us in the Bible challenge, we're on 2 Chronicles chapter 21 to 25. Okay. If you are, those of you who are in the Bible challenge, Jehoshaphat's spiritual gains in the nation are all too soon wiped out by the wicked reigns of Jehoram, Ahaziah, and Athaliah. Before reading the tale of intrigue and bloodshed, be sure you understand the family relationships between the main characters and the significance of little Joash's survival as the sole remaining heir of David's dynasty. So, they're not talking about Menelik, right? They're talking about David's sole remaining heir. And we have the king of Judah happening here. Joash repairs the temple. There's a wickedness of Joash. It's just, look, Second Chronicles, I wish you the best in that because I am needing to read through it myself. Yeah, I have to read through it because it's a lot to unpack, because we're talking about a family relationship, and families are dysfunctional. They function within a dysfunction. That's just a common thing. They function within a dysfunction. So because of that, we have, a lot of dynamics at play in Second Chronicles, and we are reading in this Bible challenge. So have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's been great. Yes, it's been really good. Thank you for joining. This has been Live in the Rise. Check it out. We're going to be switching over to Patreon on the 28th. So you won't be seeing me live unless you go to Patreon and join that. Thanks again, everybody, for joining Live in the Rise. It's been great. 50 minutes. Oh my goodness. Usually we're a lot more time than this. So thank you for joining. Have a blessed day. Stand in love. Don't fall in it. Yep. Stand in love. Don't fall in it. Have a blessed day, everyone. Take good care. Take good care.